I received a request to do this video as hard as it is to watch this. I received a comment that said, please share MNGOMEZULU's last day in court. He stood up and said that he was feeling much better. But as you can see, he struggles to walk out. He's limping. He limps out of the courtroom after making a promise to us, to his client, to the judge, to say he will return. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Advocate MNGOMEZULU's last day in court. May his soul rest in peace. I'll play the clip here, just so you can hear. Pay attention to the demeanor. Was he getting better, or was he saying what the judge wanted to hear? Ironically, this was the day we found out the judge calls us YouTube experts. It's also the day that marks the pivotal demise of Advocate Thulani Joshua MNGOMEZULU. Thank you so much for everything you've done and shown us through the screen. You've reached out and touched so many people. You are the real influencer. You influenced us in many ways. You showed us strength. You showed us your great memory. You showed us how you can recall phone numbers without looking at a piece of paper. Unfortunately, it was God's will that although you are our Joshua, you have taken us into the promised land. It remains for the rest of the defense team to complete the task at hand, which is to reach a verdict for the 5 accused. Please make sure to drop a comment in the comment section, consoling the family, sharing your condolences with the family. Thank you for everything. Thank you for watching the videos. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the videos as well, so that more and more people can see. Not so many people can have their last day at work recorded on video, so it can be reviewed and analyzed. Let me know, do you think that this was fair? Was this fair? Should he have been granted more compassion, more aid, more assistance as someone who is an officer of the court? Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on my next upload.
Yes. My Lord, as we have discussed that, and I've indicated that I'm getting much better, but I'm not in a position to cross-examine the witness. And I've made a request that my cross-examination should be suspended until after the cross-examination of Advocate Mshololo. I will then proceed after Advocate Mshololo, and the parties have agreed, and Advocate Numalo has agreed to stand in for me, and that has been communicated with my client, and the CB accused number 1, on the basis that the condition in court will actually hamper or disturb the progress of my healing as the court pleases.
Yeah, can you interpret for... Yes, Mr. Zumala?
Thank you, my lord. I was approached by Mr. MNGOMEZULU after we've met in chambers and requested me to stand in for him in order to allow him to recuperate. I have no problems, my lord. This was communicated to his client, Mr. Sibiya. If there is any further thing that Mr. Sibiya would wish me to convey to Mr. MNGOMEZULU, I'm going to take whatever instructions and inform Mr. MNGOMEZULU about the developments and whatever instructions that is going to relate to me. Thank you.
So how long is the hiatus regarding Mr. MNGOMEZULU's health is going to determine how long
my lord,
you assist?
The arrangement is the cross-examination is going to continue up to Advocate Mshololo, and then thereafter Mr. MNGOMEZULU is going to come back. It is then that stage that this arrangement is going to cease.
You confirm that, Mr. MNGOMEZULU? Yeah, you don't have to stand up. You can just...
I do confirm.
You do confirm it. And you say this has been conveyed to Mr. Sibiya, and it was discussed in Mr. Sibiya's presence, meaning you, Mr. MNGOMEZULU, and Mr. Sibiya, minimum, and the other councils.
That is minimum. The minimum was 3. Myself, Mr. MNGOMEZULU, and Mr. Sibiya.
Okay, and what was Mr. Sibiya's view?
They agreed to the arrangement. May the court confirm also from him.
Mr. Ramasipidi?
As the court pleases, my lord, I do confirm the arrangement, and I do also confirm that as part of the part discussion, I was involved, my lord, as the court pleases.
Mr. Nisi?
As it is the court, my lord, although I was not involved in the discussion, but I'm quite happy with the arrangement.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr.
Munyeki.
Munyeki, sorry.
Yes, my lord. Yeah, my lord, I was not part of the discussion, but I do confirm that some of the issues were raised with the defense of accused number 5.
Mr. Sibiya, stand up. Do you confirm the agreement, or the arrangement?
Yes, I do confirm.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to quote what the law says.
Yes, Mara, can I just maybe add something?
Oh, yes, Mr. Sorry, Galui.
Regarding the ambit of the discussions that we had in chambers,
Yeah.
it was emphasized that Mr. MNGOMEZULU will follow the proceedings as they occur, and he will also get a running record of the proceedings, so that he's fully acquainted with what is happening in court.
Yeah, how does he follow the proceedings?
Yes. Well, the proceedings have been broadcast live, my lord, and
Okay.
he will, and I don't want to speak on his behalf, but I think the extent of the discussions was that, he will follow the proceedings in whichever way to acquaint himself of what is going on. And I suppose if there's anything, he will then communicate with Mr. Ngumalo. And the other thing, my lord, that I'm wondering about, should he then recover before the end of the cross-examination of Mr. Ngumalo, I suppose then he should come back to court. So he's excused from court pending his recuperation or the finalization of the cross-examination by Ms. Mshololo, whichever comes first. That should be the condition.
Thanks.
Well, given in light of recent developments, how do you feel about your condition? How do you feel about your condition? You know, listening to this again, I am so enraged right now. Advocate MNGOMEZULU was an admitted attorney, okay? He could represent in any high court. He was highly educated and qualified for his role. Not only that, Advocate Thulani MNGOMEZULU was an officer of the court, aka a friend of the court, but he was treated less than. He was treated as a common criminal, as if he was on some paid leave being paid by the state. He was treated as though he was lying about his medical condition. He was treated as though he just wants to be home to be watching YouTube and not coming in. Advocate Baloyi, what say you now? I hope this is a lesson to anyone in a leadership role moving forward. Believe them. Believe them. We don't know what his mental state was. Maybe that would have helped him recover and get back into shape 100% and continue with the work at hand. But the working conditions and the suspicious sentences just being thrown, and the mockery on his last day. You ask yourself, why? Why was he treated less than when he was an officer of the court? Someone whose job is to administer justice. But he saw none for himself.
Is that your understanding, Mr. MNGOMEZULU?
Whichever comes first, my lord.
Okay. Yeah, but that you are going to follow the proceedings on YouTube, you said the other day.
I've been following it, man.
Well, they've got problems with YouTube
No problem.
because there are too many experts there.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
On that aspect, the proceedings from the 7th of October to the 22nd of October 2014 were emailed to Mr. MNGOMEZULU, and he confirmed yesterday that he received my emails.
Yes.
So whatever that comes from now on, I will be forwarding whatever that comes to Mr. MNGOMEZULU in order for him to apprise himself with the proceedings. Thank you.
Okay. This is what the law stipulates. The cross-examination. Let's start there. The cross-examination sequence, which appertains in a court of law, is governed, I think, by Section 127. And amongst others, it is discretional upon the presiding officer as to the sequential cross-examination which is going to be exercised by various counsel in a particular case like this one, has to abide by the prescripts as to how the accused before court are being cited after being charged. In other words, lack of a better word, if Mr. Sibiya, as he is accused number 1, his counsel is expected after each and every witness to be the first to cross-examine the state witness who has given that evidence. But these procedures are not immutable. They are not cast in stone. They can be modified, added to, if special circumstances arise, like in this case. This case started before this court in July 2023, but previously, my colleague was involved in this case, Judge Maumela, who had to recuse himself after being incapacitated physically. So I am aware that the allegations also arise against the accused as on during October 2014, about 10 years ago. This court will not go into the history of this trial, but for various reasons, the actual concourse of this trial only began, I think, in 2019, is that so? 2019, before Mr. Maumela.
Yeah, well, before Judge Maumela, it was the first appearance was in February 2022.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yes.
So that was the initial appearance of the accused before this court. So I am of the view that because of the history of this case and because of the incapacity, which I believe is temporary, of Mr. MNGOMEZULU, these aspects constitute special extraordinary circumstances which may allow this court to accede to the request by Mr. MNGOMEZULU and his client that Mr. MNGOMEZULU will keep himself apprised of the proceedings in this case, as he has always been doing, and he will keep in contact with Advocate Ngumalo, who has volunteered to assist accused number 1 and Mr. MNGOMEZULU. The overriding aspect is that no other accused should suffer prejudice in this trial as a result of the arrangements which this court is agreeing to, as requested by Mr. MNGOMEZULU and his client, because the court is enjoined in terms of Section 35 of the Constitution to accord an accused and his counsel or attorney a fair trial as described in our Constitution by, amongst others, a retired judge of the Constitutional Court, Johan Krichler, in the case of the Attorney General of the Cape versus Key, which is a constitutional case which is seminal, in my view, in defining the aspects which we all refer to as a fair trial. And I'm also consoled by the fact that there is no apparent conflict of interest amongst the accused and their counsels regarding the charges facing the accused. The accused are facing 5 charges. Murder with the application of Section 51(1) of the Criminal Procedure Act. Robbery, also with the applicability of Section 51(1). Possession of a firearm, and also attempted murder with the applicable Section 51(1) also being there, and possession of ammunition. And further, the accused are also charged jointly with the allegation that they allegedly committed these offenses in pursuance of a common purpose. So consequently, the onus of proof, which rests on the state to prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt, is not delineated differently from either of the accused. The state has to prove those charges with the application of the doctrine of common purpose. All 5 accused also reserved their right in terms of Section 35 of the Constitution not to disclose the basis of their defense. Consequently, as I say, up to this stage, it cannot be cogently argued that the accused, any of the accused or counsel, with regard to the arrangements which this court is acceding to about the health of Mr. MNGOMEZULU, that there has been a conflict of interest or there has been a denial of the concept of a free trial, which must appertain to all the accused before court. Consequently, then, that application is granted. Yeah. Also, he gets a periodic record of the proceedings, besides just himself being apprised of the progress of the trial. He must also be furnished, as he has been furnished, by the running record, which is available to all counsels in this case. And therefore, I find that it is in the interest of justice that this case should proceed. Okay, yes.
Yes, my lord.
Yes.
I have excuse.
Thanks. Mr. Brigadier,
Yes, my lord.
Kinanda, you're still under oath. Okay.
Yes, my lord.
Thanks. Okay.
As the court pleases, my lord. My lord, may I proceed?
Yes.
Thank you. Morning, Brigadier.
Morning, Mr. Ramsey.
Now, sir, I'm going to start my cross-examination with certain preliminary questions before we address exhibits HH and JJ, which are statements of accused number 2.
Yes.
Now, in your evidence in chief, you testified that you were tasked by Lieutenant General Nkomo, who was at the time